All right, on today's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our small contracts project. Let's have a look at what we're going to be going over today. Yesterday, we actually deployed our first small contract. I did it live for you guys. So for the next few days, we're going to be doing some light reading, so I can bring you up to speed on what we're doing now. I did skip out a lot of information on the deployment, like how I got my account funded, how we actually implemented the deployment, and all of the tools we needed to set up the actual deployment. But again, that was just an inside filler that was going to get us to the deployment destination, which you can actually discover on your own if you want to dive deeper into it. But it was just too much information to go over to keep up with you guys. So yeah, we're just going to be skipping ahead. And the next thing we're going to be focused on is this pure and view decorator here. So we can actually start coming up to this new module that we're working in called Buy Me a Coffee. This is actually the new contract that we're building. It's going to be a lot more complex and a lot more in depth. So yeah, we're going to be leading up to that. So, like I said, with that being said, we're going to be doing probably about 2 or 3 days of light reading, and then we'll get into the buy me a coffee introduction, and then buy me a coffee contract. So, in this section, we will go over the at pure versus the at view decorators in more detail and other in their differences. Now, both the pure and the view decorator let our contract know that a function is read only. It's not going to write anything to the blockchain. The pure does not read any state or global variables. The view reads state and global variables. Now, this is the main difference between the two, but we'll go into more detail. Let's go over an example. So let's say that we have a pure function first. Let's call a function add, which takes two inputs. You can see here the x with an integer and a y is an integer. And then we use an arrow to indicate that we want to return a uint256, an integer. Next, we start writing our function with the return and say x plus y. So this is what everything looks like put together. We have an add external, our pure decorator. And then we have our function here. We're going to define add x, y, both integers. We want to return an integer, and then we're going to write our function to return x plus y. So tomorrow we're actually going to run this inside our remix so I can show you exactly how that works, and then we'll move forward. But like I said, we're done with the favorites.vy file, and we deployed our first contract. So now we're moving on to more complicated and more in-depth functions and more complicated and in-depth contracts. So stay tuned for that. But of course, I will keep you posted every step of the way. For now, it's the Python Poppy. You guys stay Gucci.